people. Welcome to yet another beautiful time with the Wholesome Kids. Here we make talking head videos. We make talking head videos. Yeah, we make talking head videos about helping parents understand that parenting is um, a skill, building a community that raises wholesome kids. We are building a community that raises wholesome kids. We are parenting for nation building. We're parenting for nation building. I hope my mic is on so that I don't give you a bad sound. We're parents for nation building. Um, we are advocating for parents to provide unwavering support for their kids and helping parents regulate so that they can teach their kids how to regulate. That's all we do on this channel. That's all we do on this channel. Okay. What else do we do? What else do we do? We regulate so that they can help children regulate. Because I believe that parenting is a skill. I believe that parenting is a skill that ought to be learned. Which gives you an edge over parenting. Now, some people will say, is parenting being learned? Do you have to learn parenting? Did our parents have to learn anything, whilst they were bringing us up? And I usually say yes, parenting has to be learned. Everything upon the surface of the earth has to be learned, okay? Everything upon the surface of the earth, you know, there are skills behind the kind of things that we do. There are skills behind the kind of things that we do. So if you don't avail yourself to knowing a little of this, a little of that, so that it can help you navigate, then you may be, having some lots of problems. And we've seen parents struggling a lot as far as parenting is concerned. Yesterday, I joined a live where the topic was motherhood and identity. And I really liked that topic. I didn't intend, staying on that life, but because of the topic and the kind of knowledge that the person in question was dishing out, I just had to stay to contribute, my own quota. So what are we basically doing today? What we are doing today is to tell a story. On Thursdays, that's what we do. We take somebody's story, an experience that somebody had. We share it here without calling names so that we can learn from them, okay? So that another person can learn from that experience. So it's usually our storytelling. It's usually our storytelling Thursday. That's what I call it, storytelling Thursday. And the topic for today says, I didn't expect her to keep the tissue. I didn't expect her to keep the tissue. But I'm so glad she did. But I'm so glad she did. This is somebody's story. This is somebody's story, okay? I'm going to read it the way the person wrote it to me. I'm going to read it the way the person wrote it to me, so that when we finish reading it, then we now come and analyze. We begin to analyze as parents. What would you have done? What would you have done differently? How would you have felt if such a thing happened? So just listen through while I read the story, okay? Listen through while I read the story. It goes like this. I had just stepped into the house around 8:15 p.m. yesterday. It had been a long day out for me. One of the triplets, my second daughter, so this person has triplets, and this is the second daughter now, rushed to hug me. After catching up, she said, Mommy, I want to show you something. She wasn't scared. She was her usual chatty self. Then she came back holding a used tissue. She came back holding a used tissue. My first instinct was fear, but I maxed it. I had to max the fear. Remember, we are always preaching that here as well. Welcome. I can see one person join us. Welcome. I had to mask it. Remember, we are always preaching fear. You cannot display fear in the presence of your children. Yes, we say, yeah, be vulnerable, but there are some things that you have to be vulnerable with them. Definitely not fear. Because remember, our children mirror us, okay? Our children mirror us. So I'm happy where she said, I had to mask it, right? I saw this when I wiped. So this was her child now saying to her, I saw this when I wiped. I asked, when did this happen? This was the mom now asking, when did this happen? She said, this afternoon after school. This afternoon after school. I asked, why didn't you trash it? She smiled and said, because I wanted to show you. The lady wrote, I was so emotional. I was so emotional. Excuse me. Let me respond to something. Hello, 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 hello. Stay with us. We are raising wholesome kids here. So I hugged her and explained gently. I hugged her and I explained gently. Sometimes women spot small brown stains a day or before their period starts. Sometimes women spot small brown stains a day or two before their period starts. I told her, this even happened to me this month. So you must always let your children have that sense of, oh, it's not just me, it's not just happening to me, it also happened to mom, it also happened to dad. Okay, that's what the lady was doing here. All the things we preach on this channel, you're going to see them play out here, so that you understand that this thing we say parenting, intentional parenting, is not a wish list. You can't wish it on you can't put it on your wish list and expect that you're going to raise a wholesome child. It is something that you have to put effort. It's something that you must work on. You must be determined that I'm determined to have a wholesome child. And then you begin to walk towards these steps. She said, I told her this even happened to me too this month. Next time I will show you. So she was ready to show, her daughter the very next time she was going to be sporting. You might even wake up tomorrow and your period would have started. Hello, please tap on the screen for me. Tap on the screen for me. Hello, we're talking about children here. The channel is basically about children. So, so just wear a pad to bed tonight so that you don't get stained. She looked so shocked. Then said, okay, mommy. She then said, okay, mommy. Um, I'm coming. She then said, okay, mommy, right? Good. Let's continue. I hugged her. I hugged her again and said, okay, go and sleep. It's past 9 p.m. Now, this is the lady's thoughts. It might not seem like a big deal to you, but it is quite a reminder that I'm doing something right. It is quite a reminder that I'm doing something right, especially in moments when I quietly question my parenting, especially in moments when I quietly question my parenting. And as predicted, she woke up to a stained pad. Sometimes your parenting validation doesn't come in applause. It comes in little unplanned moments like this. It comes in little unplanned moments like this. This kind of trust isn't built overnight. That was pure trust. That was maximum level of trust. That was friendship. That showed that this woman has a bond with her child. That showed that this woman is not just, she's not just raising children. She is raising children with intentionality. For your child to see her first blood stain and keep the tissue because she wants to show it to mommy and report to mommy that, look, this is it. That means the lady had been having a conversation around the subject with her child before this happened. When we talk about age appropriate skills, when we talk about exposing these children to age appropriate discussions, this is what we mean. There is something called the first point of the first point of information. The first point of information means that first place. Hello, hello, I can see somebody joining us. Hello, welcome here. This is Wholesome Kids. We talk parenting here. We advocate for, raising wholesome children. That's what we do here. So please kindly give me a double tap on the screen. Just kindly give me a double tap on the screen. Thank you very much. So that the life can, continue to go. We are really doing something great here. We are sharing a story. It's our storytelling Thursday. On Thursdays we share stories. We take people's experiences, and then without mentioning names. Okay, yeah, grand rising to you. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Please do a tap on the screen for me. Thank you. Grand rising to you. So what we do on Thursdays is storytelling. So we take your experience because we have a safe space here. We're not here to judge anyone's style of parenting. We are only here to navigate the common parenting struggles. They are common to all of us. They are common to all of us. So what we do is come together to navigate the struggles. Because if you have a problem and you find that, oh, yet another person has the same problem, it smoothens you a little bit, it calms you a little bit than you just being soaked up in your problem all alone, right? So it's our storytelling Thursday, and I had already begun reading a story. And when we finish reading the stories, we then analyze the stories. We finish reading and then we analyze the stories. So I was saying that this lady says this kind of trust isn't built overnight. It takes intentionality, transparency, and emotional nakedness. You understand? Emotional nakedness. I'm not fully there yet, but definitely making progress. Would you like me to share some practical ways I build this kind of bond with my daughters? So this is somebody who has a laid down parental um, approach on how she is raising her children. And she is glad that in the little things she's seeing back home, they are telling her without the loud applause, without the calling you out, in a seminar to applaud you, without the roses being given to you, without the placards, of achievement, congratulatory messages being sent to you. But there are little things going on in the home that shows that indeed you are parenting right. Now let's go back to the very first stage of the story, where she said she had just gotten back from work, and then her second daughter rushed. Hello, I have something to show. Brings a used tissue that was stained, with spotting, blood spotting, meaning about 12 or 13 is just beginning to see her menstrual period. Some of us, can we remember the first time we had this thing called spotting? Can you began spotting? Can you remember the first time you were grown into, and into mother? no, no motherhood experience? Can you remember how you handled it? If comment section, let me, little girl kept the stained tissue because she needed to show to her mom. That shows that she has a relation and her mom have a bond, you know, they have a bond. So that's what it shows, bond. All right. So she kept it and decided that, okay, I was going to show it to my mom when she comes back so that she can explain some more. And I was saying for that to have happened, it means that the lady would have had this discussion with the daughter ab initio before this time. So that's why the girl was not even scared. That's why it didn't come as a surprise. It didn't come as a surprise to the girl. It's something, okay, we had discussed and I have to show to mom. And then the lady went ahead to say she felt really good within herself because it went on to show that she, you know, went on to show that she's really doing something right with her parenting. Because sometimes you question yourself, you don't even know if you're on the right track, you don't even know if you're doing something right. But with these little things, out, you find that, okay, I was right. How can we boast of our children being able to trust us that much, to trust us that much that they will say, okay, this has happened to me. I'm going to discuss with mom. This has happened to me. I'm going to discuss with dad. That's basically what I would like us to discuss. That's basically what I would like us to discuss on this life. You know, are you such a parent that your children dread you? That when they hear the sound of daddy's car, they run into their rooms. We've had that a lot growing up. I think that is beginning to, that aspect of raising children is beginning to fade away, where you cannot stay and have, you are in the lounge watching the television and then you hear mom's car by the drive. You find that the children just take off. They just take off into their bedrooms, jump on their beds, and they're pretending to be sleeping. To be sleeping. Did you do that? Was that your experience? All of that is beginning to go away now. But notwithstanding, there are still some families who their children cannot stand them. They'll rather run into the room when mommy and daddy are coming back. Why? Because the atmosphere you create is toxic. You don't give them the benefit of the doubt. You don't allow them to express themselves. And the moment you shut down a child, you're shutting down the creative mind. You're shutting down the creative mind of that child. You're shutting down the boldness of that child. You're shutting down the 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 intellectual capabilities of that child. Hello, welcome. I can see one person joining us. Welcome. You know, you're shutting down the intellectual capability of that child when you chase them away, when you ask a question and the child tells you the truth, then the child is being beaten, or you put severe punishment, for the child. It's not a good thing. That's not parenting right, especially the children we are parenting now. Back then, our parents could do those things with us. But I tell you, there's a whole lot of difference now. There's a whole lot of difference between you and your child. The you of those days and your child of now. There is a whole lot of difference. Look at the story I just read out. Look at the story I just read out. The lady said the child kept the used tissue and she asked her, why didn't you dispose of this thing? She said, no, ma'am. I just wanted to show it to you. I just wanted to bring it to your knowledge. Some of us, our children will start menstruating without our knowledge because they are scared to come and tell us. You're going to scold them. They are afraid. They don't want to come and say something so that mommy does not scold them, so that mommy does not, shut them down. It's a very bad parenting style. It's a very bad parenting style. Your child cannot be wholesome if you do not give them attention, if you do not give them that safe space to speak to you, to talk to you. If you don't give them that safe space to talk to you, it will become difficult for the children. It will become difficult for the child. It will become difficult for you to build a bond, to build a bond. See, bonding is intentional. Bonding with your child is something that you should do intentionally. It's an intentional thing. I'm telling you. If you watch through this channel, now and again, I bring you clips of, how I relate with my child. Does it now mean that you shouldn't be a disciplined parent? No, it doesn't mean so. I think somewhere in this channel, you're going to see the 5 styles of parenting. It doesn't mean you should not be disciplined. Be disciplined, and at the same time, give them a safe space. Allow them know that your ears are always open to listening to them without judgment. It's not just listening, but listening without judgment. Do you understand? It's not just listening, but listening without judgment. Listening without judgment. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So, it's our storytelling Thursday. I would like that you put what you have heard. Is there anything that has stood out for you? Because I will read that story again. We normally read the stories like 3 times. I'm going to read that story again. But at this point, I'm just going to pause a little bit and allow you to put down that which you have learned or that which you have heard that is standing out for you, that is jumping at you. Anything you've heard that is jumping at you, that is jumping at you, put it on the comment. Let's discuss. It's our storytelling Thursday. It's our storytelling Thursday. It's our storytelling Thursday. It's our storytelling Thursday. So I'll blank out so that I can listen to you, so that I can read your comments. Okay. Yeah. Um, my little knowledge with OBG. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. Okay. Yes. Yes. It shows a lot of bonding between the two parties. Of course. That's bonding. It shows, hello, Abdul. Hello, 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 Abdul. Hello. I just had to blank out the camera so that I can properly read comments. Abdul, welcome here. Hello, welcome. How are you? How are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Little knowledge is saying to you, welcome, sir. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. So it's our storytelling Thursday. I just told a story, took another parent's story and shared with us so that we could discuss. That's basically what we do on Thursdays. Thursday morning. I know everybody is jumping on their feet, going to work and all of those things. But I try to tell a story on Thursday morning, starting by 9 o'clock, so that we can take yet another parent story and then we just share it and we'll learn from it. So I just finished reading out the story. Maybe I should read it out again. Maybe I should read it out again. Maybe